We talked about it, guys, on this very channel. Before Raw hit the airwaves Monday night, we talked about this company not having one match for a pay-per-view that is next Sunday night. Not one match was announced. We said, after Raw tonight, half the card is going to have to be filled out. And they did. That one night, they announced 3 to 4 matchups. And then, last night, for Friday Night Smackdown, they took it to another tragic level. We talked about how they'd be frantically trying to put together a pay-per-view card this week, which will leave them only 7 days to try and hype it up. Not only was BC Amplified correct, we, the Amplified unit, the smartest pro wrestling fan in the entire community, not only were we correct, but they're so frantic they didn't even try to hide it last night. They had a segment where Adam Pearce was talking to his suit jacket sidekick Sonya, and he said, "I don't care what we do, Sonya. I gotta fill up this card. I gotta fill up this Elimination Chamber match." And suit jacket sidekick Sonya actually looks at Adam Pearce and says, "Why don't we just have some tag team matches? And the tag team that wins gets to go for a championship in the chamber, gets to be the #1 contender." So to vie for a title, to get yourself in position for a championship these days, you just gotta win one nonsensical tag team match. You're in line for a title. Gone are the days where you would have to be built up for months to become an actual #1 contender, an actual challenger to a champion. Gone are those days. Now we have the authority figure in today's WWE admitting, in storyline form as well now, that they're frantically just trying to fill up the card. And it gets even worse. Roman Reigns, who's doing the best work of his career, by the way. They had him out there last night. You know what? Let's wait till the actual review. There is no more cold open. My cold open is how pathetically low this company continues to fucking drop. And there'll be people out there that go, "BC, no matter what they do, you're gonna find fault with them. You're not gonna find a more fairer channel in this community on this platform. There's nobody more fair than BC, trust me. I've seen them all come and go. They don't touch me, they're nowhere near my level." I'm always calling it down the middle. When I see something good, when I see something positive, I spend several minutes on it. I just don't pass it over because I have a shtick, because I have a narrative, an agenda to fill on this platform. I stick with it. I talk about how good it was. I get people upset with BC because I'm talking about so much positive. Even if that so much positive is 1 or 2 segments in an entire night, even if it's a 2-minute backstage segment, I'll spend time on it. And people get pissed at BC. Don't even try to find good with this program, man. No! That's not what BC does on this channel. I'm going to find any piece of good, just like I find all the bad, all the ugly on these shows. I call it down the middle. I don't care who I offend or piss off in the process. When they do things right, no matter how small, you're gonna hear about it. When they do things wrong, bad, tragic, unacceptable, you're gonna hear about it. If it seems like I come across so negative, it's because they do so much bad, so much ugly, so much tragic, and so much unacceptable on every single show, and it's pathetic. So you can sit there on your high horse and say, BC's the negative one, I'm the bad guy, I'm the boogeyman in the community, I wear the black hat on this platform. But what I'm really doing is just dropping one truth after another, one fact after another. This isn't one of those opinion channels. You know, those channels where we just talk about pro wrestling and I give you my opinion, and then in the comments you can say, BC, you're wrong. Here's my opinion. What I'm telling you is facts. You can accept that, and together we can try to change this shit show. Or you can keep being delusional and lying to yourself. But on this channel, class is in session. Professor Amplified Man is ready to rock. That's the cold open. We're gonna get to what Roman Reigns and Adam Pearce in their exchange and how stupid this is for pro wrestling. How dumb and how dumbfounded, befuddled we all were when that first segment went off the air. And we're gonna get to much more too. The awkward Seth Rollins return. The main event. That's a tag team match to get to a world heavyweight title opportunity. Oh, we're going to talk about all of that. We got the Mocha Frappuccino from Starbucks today. We're going to rock this son of a bitch, and we're truly going to get amplified. And we ain't going to wait. We're going to talk about it. Red Team, go right now. Smackdown, February 12th, 2021. This is the Amplified review. The only review in this community that goes full throttle, and we don't hold back, Jack. Nah, we about to rock this bitch now. All right. We got a lot of snow barreling at us, man, like a Yokozuna Banzai. Today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, snow is coming at us hardcore, man. And BC's fighting right back. I'm like, is that all you got? Mother Nature's like, not even close, buddy. And she unloads some more. And stubborn old BC's like, is that all you got? She's like, dude, not even close. Here's some more. We've been playing this game. We've been getting rocked throughout February, man. A lot of snow, even blizzards. But we keep somehow finding a way to deliver content to you guys, man. And this will be no different. No matter how much snow we're going to get today, tomorrow, and going forward, man. This video is getting out to you. I just don't want to put a time frame on it. Whenever I say we're going to talk a half an hour about pro wrestling, it turns out to be an hour. If I say an hour, it turns out to be 2 hours. You know, we just love talking pro wrestling on this channel. We get amplified, passionate, and I'd have it no other way. So, yeah, man. We got to try to get this get this done in a good time frame, though, man, because we do have a storm brewing. Now, I want to start with, jump from the show, man, right from the bricks. We got Adam Pearce and Roman Reigns starting this thing. You want to talk inmates running the asylum? Check this out. Pearce tells Roman that just like Drew McIntyre on Raw, Roman will also have to defend his title inside the Elimination Chamber next Sunday. But Roman says, or my bad, Paul Heyman, on behalf of Roman, tells Pearce, and I quote, he's not going to do that. Instead, he'll face the winner of whoever wins the Elimination Chamber match. So again, let's recap. Pearce, the authority figure, doesn't ask. He's the authority figure. He's the guy in charge of WWE on TV, right? So he's telling Roman, just like Drew, you will be defending that title inside the chamber. And Paul Heyman and Roman are like, no, that's adorable. No, we're not. We're going to watch other people do it, and then we'll pick up the scraps later in the night. Now, listen to how silly that sounds, man. And trust me, character-wise, that fits Roman, and I actually don't mind that. But that's the way you go about it. Pearce says you're going to do one thing. Paul says, no, we're not. And Pearce was just like, oh, all right then. Well, then allow me to go backstage and try to relocate my balls. Has anybody seen Adam Pearce's balls? You'll notice them. They're very tiny, and each one is labeled his initials. Where are Adam Pearce's balls? Pearce, this morning, is still probably trying to relocate his balls. He took that like a bitch boy Braden. I love Roman going against the authority, and he's great at it. And that's the character work that he should be portraying. So storyline-wise, I'm not even... It's good. But execution is everything. It can't be that easy. Back in the day when Stone Cold said no to Mr. McMahon made Stone Cold's life just a bit harder. What does Pierce do after being completely bitch boy Bradened? He says to Roman, "Oh yeah? Well, I'm gonna have qualifying matches, so there." Basically what he said. And he says, but first, he says, two guys that don't even need to qualify are Jey Uso, your cousin, and Kevin Owens. What the fuck? What is that? This dude just told you, I'm not gonna do what you say. In fact, maybe I'll defend the championship after the chamber when somebody's beaten down and destroyed. Then I'll defend my title, because Paul Heyman said the original contract said we have to defend it at the chamber, not inside the chamber. Well, Pierce, the authority figure, says you have to now. So we're at a slippery slope. And again, I watch my I want a little bit of believability into the storyline. I want some realism to it, right? Unless your character is something like The Undertaker, which, again, you build that character the right way, we'll believe that he's shooting electricity. Lightning is cascading into the ring, but we'll believe it. We'll believe that Papa Shango is casting a voodoo spell on somebody. We'll believe that Bray Wyatt is getting burned in the ring, but coming back 2 months later. Or that Alexa Bliss has disappeared. Man, if you're doing the character correctly, we can invest. But just because it's more simplistic doesn't mean that you can half-ass it. There has to be more of a reason why Roman is not going to defend in the chamber. He just said, I'm not going to, and Pierce rolled over like a bitch boy Braden. That's a slippery slope, because where does it end? Roman literally doesn't have to do anything anymore then. Roman doesn't have to ever defend the championship. That's what this leads to. There is literally no control in the company. It's not even a battle. That's not a battle anymore. Roman can just tell Pierce, I'm not going to do this, or you have to change this. It's a slippery slope, man. I can't be the only one that was watching this thinking, wait, he got out of it that easy? Could you imagine going to work with an attitude? And again, I love Roman's attitude. I love this Roman character. I've been calling for it for years. I'm the only son of a bitch on this platform who has been saying for years, this dude needs to turn heel, and I've been relentless. I've never switched up position on that. I've had Roman fans trying their hearts out to get BC to just be on board with Roman for years, and I'm like, nah, brah. I can't. I like Joanna Y. I can't do this character. It's force-fed. We finally got it, and he's unbelievable. But could you imagine going to work and just telling your boss, no, I'm not going to clean that table just because I have free time. No, I'm not going to take my break early. No, I will not come in on the mandatory one Saturday a month like everybody else is doing. No. And you won't fire me because I can tell you no, and you should take it up the ass. You imagine going to work and telling your boss that? Could you imagine going to school when your teacher says, pop quiz, everybody? Or here's test day, it's test day Friday, and everybody's got their paper, and you stand up and you rip it up and you go, I'm not taking it. And you ain't gonna send me to the principal's office because I can tell you I'm not gonna take it, and you're gonna take it. Where? Right up the ass. Could you imagine going to work and doing that? Even when Stone Cold was telling McMahon that back in the day, there was repercussions. Stone Cold's life got a bit harder. This didn't get hard at all. Easy peasy, as Asuka would say. It was not hard at all. Like the night I had a chance to sleep with Stacy Fontana from high school, and after 8 shots of tequila and 13 straight beers, it was not hard at all. Just wasn't happening. This was not hard at all. And you say BC, but you say you don't mind the storyline. You love Roman's character against the Authority. Yes, so make this harder throughout the night. If you did this correctly and you didn't rush a pay-per-view 3 weeks after the Royal Rumble, wedged between 3 weeks with another pay-per-view called Fastlane, which is 1 month before WrestleMania, if you didn't squish 4 pay-per-views in 3.5 months, you could do this correctly. That's what I mean about execution is everything. The way you go about your business. This should have been Roman the whole night. You had a story arc of him battling with Pierce, not just in the ring, but backstage. And he's trying to get out of that Elimination Chamber match. But Pierce is relentless. This is the way it has to be. The company is even telling me this. It ain't just me. I'm the mouthpiece. I'm the middleman. The executives are telling me this. You gotta defend that championship, but Paul Heyman, being the slimy salesman that he is, finds a way out. Roman is relentless in his character, and he demands to be out. And by the end of the night, somehow, by hook or crook, he gets out of it. This was literally, in 60 seconds, Roman's like, Pierce is like, you're gonna do this. Roman's like, no, I'm not. And Pierce is like, all right, going to find my balls. That's what happened. And I know there'll be a schmuck. Basically, I don't mind this. They were rushed, I understand, but I don't mind it. Makes sense. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't at all make sense. Nowhere in the world would that happen. Right? I mean, you're just telling every single other pro wrestler now in WWE, what's that? Sports entertainer. What's that, Vince? Sports entertainer. You said pro wrestler. They're not they're sports entertainers. Damn it, sports entertainers. Shut up! Pro wrestlers! You're telling them that no matter what they're told, they can just say, that's adorable, shove it up your ass, hit bricks, get out of my face. I ain't doing that. That's what you're telling these cats. If it's that fucking easy to do, everybody's going to do it. We know WWE's in shambles. We know that the company in real life is in disarray. But at least portray on TV like you got shit in order. Then they say Uso and Owens are automatically in. Uso loses. Whether it's fucking Daniel Bryan's on a fucking losing streak, and even Daniel Bryan can beat Jey Uso. Kevin Owens multiple fucking times. Roman Reigns several times. And this dude just finds himself in a chamber match. If he wins that one match, he's in a championship match. And Kevin Owens, and I don't even mind Owens. Owens is doing some of the best work of his career right now, actually, in the last 2 months. But if you just lost a TLC match, the same week you lost a steel cage match to the same person, and then 1 month later, you lose a last man standing match to the same person. 3 in a row, he has lost to Roman. At this point, the Lucha Summer College House Party. But by that way of logic, Grand Metalik would be next in line for a championship before Kevin Owens. How many opportunities can you get and you still keep getting? Robert Roode should be up in there. Oh, but you see, he had his chance. Oh, that's right. We'll get to that, trust me. Tag teams, we're actually going for it. So I retract that statement. Roode did have a chance, but he had to fight for that chance. Owens is just in it. Why again? Oh, I'm sorry. Is that what's making Roman's life just a little bit harder? Was that supposed to be it? All right. You told me you're not going to compete in the chamber, and I have to shrivel up my balls and take it. But to get back at you, I'm putting your cousin and your enemy in the ring. Inside that elimination chamber. Oh no! I'm sure Roman Reigns was shaking in his Nikes. I'm sure Roman was rattled. Not my cousin, the same guy I've been beating up since we were kids. Not Kevin Owens, the same guy I've been beating up for 3 months in a row. Whatever will I do? So they get a free pass somehow, Uso and Owens. And then, backstage, Pierce's sidekick Suit Jacket Sonya has a bad reaction to some medicine or some shit. I don't know what she was on last night. Oh yeah, she was on WWE Creative. She was on that McMahon IV. A non-stop flow of stupidity. Because sidekick Suit Jacket Sonya comes up with a triple B idea. That's right, I call these ideas triple B. Beyond badly boneheaded. And she says, why don't we have a tag team qualifying match for Elimination Chamber? In fact, we'll have a couple of them. Right? Because Pierce literally says, I just have to fill up this Elimination Chamber match. He's frantic, right? Because there's only fucking 9 nights away at that point. 8 nights away right now from Elimination Chamber. And half the card isn't even ironed out. Half the card hasn't even been announced. Half the card hasn't even been made. So, in real life, the company is scrambling and they're frantic. And on TV, they're just like, why even hide it? We'll throw anybody in. And Pierce literally says, I'm just trying to fill up this card. I'm trying to fill up this match. And sidekick Suit Jacket Sonya says, let's have a bunch of tag team matches. And the winners of the tag team match, both of them will go into the chamber. The winning team will have the opportunity to advance to the chamber. What the fuck? All you have to do to get a title match these days, a heavyweight title match, all you have to do is win a nonsensical tag team match. Just one. One tag team match. You don't even got to be a real tag team. You can just, one night, you join forces, you win, you're in the chamber. And listen to these names. Rey and Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio has been getting beat up by Baron Corbin the last fucking month. And what's his reward? He may have won one of those matches. Maybe. Corbin has his number the whole month. And his reward is a shot at the championship. And they're going against Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn. The match was only 5 minutes. Corbin defeats Dominic again. Dominic is just Baron's bitch boy. It's evident. So it doesn't look like McMahon is too high on Dominic anymore. Maybe they're still trying to get his feet wet. Who knows, man? But the match was 5 minutes. Corbin beats Dominic. And I'm not even joking when I say this. Michael Cole and Tom Phillips would be more entertaining inside the Elimination Chamber than Baron Corbin. And even Sami Zayn at this point. And that's a shame. I used to love Sami Zayn NXT. I still love some of Sami Zayn's work now. They turned him into too much of a comedy act. The guy was, at one point, a really legit badass talent. But right now, Michael Cole and Tom Phillips would have been much more entertaining in these tag qualifiers. Rey and Dominic versus Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn. Thank goodness it was only 5 minutes, man. And just like that, Baron's in this thing. Sami Zayn is in this thing. And we're going to have another one later in the night. They say Cesaro and Daniel Bryan will be taking on Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. And whoever wins that tag match, they'll be in the chamber. So we're just going to fill up this chamber match with tag team matches. You can't make it up. And Pierce just came right out and admitted it, like, we're just trying to fill this motherfucker. A desperate plea to everyone to understand they fucked up. And when you have a pay-per-view every 3 weeks, why is this pay-per-view needed? Why is Fastlane needed? I miss back in the day when it was Royal Rumble, right to WrestleMania, right to SummerSlam, right to Survivor Series. I didn't even need the King of the Ring. I know a lot of you guys like the King of the Ring. I don't need that shit. That used to fall between WrestleMania and SummerSlam. I believe it started out in June, then they started switching it, but don't even need it. 4 pay-per-views a year. That's how they feel special. That's how you build to awesome epic feuds and storylines. Culminating moments we care about. We have gotten to the point, we have gotten so low in this company that they are just admitting they're just frantically trying to fill the card. I don't even know if the whole card is filled, to be honest. And we're 8 nights away. They're only going to have 2 shows to promote the pay-per-view. The whole pay-per-view hasn't even been filled out. And the matches that are on it make you just fucking want to put your dome piece to every cement wall that you come across. Hour number 2 ends with Big E defeating Shinsuke Nakamura via DQ. So just when you think Nakamura may be getting some steam like Cesaro, no. DQ loss within 5 minutes as well to Big E. And that's because Apollo Crews dropkicks Big E. What in the blue moon is happening? Are we really still seeing Apollo versus Big E? Apollo is not coming off badass or heelish here. Apollo is coming off like a sore loser. And by the way, they had some good mic moments last night, kind of off the mic too. It was kind of like a real beef between 2 buddies. But after just like 10 seconds, it brutally became 2 8-year-olds arguing at recess. Big E's like, go to the back, go to the back. And Apollo's like, oh, I don't want to go to the back. It's like a parent telling their kid to go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. Jerry, go to bed, Jerry. Come on, Jerry. And little Jerry's like, I don't want to go to bed, Ma. I'm gonna go to bed. Roman told his authority now. I'm telling you now. Take it up the ass, Ma. And Ma's like, what'd you say, Jerry? What? Take it up the what? I don't want to go to bed. Apollo's out there like, I don't want to go to the back. I ain't gonna go to... And Big E's like, go to the bed. He's literally treating him like he's a fucking toddler. Go to bed. Apollo, go to the bed. Somebody bring out my next challenger. Apollo, go to bed. Apollo Crews is like, I don't want to go to the back. I think at one point he may have said, I don't want to go to bed, right? Because he's having rehashed vivid nightmares of his childhood. Who knows? But they literally just started bickering like a guy. So it started off good, and then they just started reciting the same shit, and it is what it is, man. I have big hopes for Big E, man. I see big things in Big E. Hopefully Apollo, too. Apollo needs a mouthpiece, just like Ricochet. I just don't, no matter how much they could take promo classes, they could do all this training when it comes to promo work. But that's telling in itself, man. If you have to train and rehearse and take promo classes to cut a good dialogue, a good speech, a good monologue, a good promo, then that's an issue. You have to have that it factor in pro wrestling. Ricochet, Apollo, and there's many other guys that I can think of. They have skill in the ring, but they can't cut a promo worth a damn. And that's needed to carry storylines. So Apollo's in big trouble, man. He's got talent, but wow, is there a lot of areas where he needs to get to improve. And I don't know if he can. He needs a mouthpiece, somebody like a Paul Heyman. So we'll see, man. Ricochet's in that same league where Ricochet is just not good at cutting promos, man. So that's going to hinder them. But anyway, Apollo drop kicks Big E during this match, and Shinsuke's disqualified in it. Nobody looks good. And I love WWE's new thing. This is the second time they did this within the last couple of weeks. Their new thing is they know they have schmaz endings, but they don't want you to notice it. So the second that Big E was, or I'm sorry, Shinsuke was DQ'd, Michael Cole immediately says, match thrown out. And it's a DQ, match thrown out, he says. He may have said DQ, match thrown out. He made sure he got those words in. So the viewer at home, the casual fan, or the fan that doesn't know what the fuck's going on, or isn't really thinking about what is going on, they want you to think that it was a no contest. Nobody won this match. See, everybody looks good. Shinsuke didn't lose, guys, don't worry. No, Shinsuke did lose. Apollo was drop kicked Big E. So, real fans, people that know what the fuck they're talking about, people that know what's going on, we're consciously or subconsciously, but either way, we're taking inventory of these wins and losses. That is a loss for Shinsuke. Good try, Michael Cole. That one didn't get past the Amplified, man. Get to hour number 2 in a second. Let me get some more fucking mocha frappuccino from the fine people at Starbucks. Support your local coffee shops too, guys. Trust me, I drink about fucking 7 to 10 coffees a day. So Starbucks, Dunkin', your usual suspects, they're always in my arsenal. But a couple of coffees every single day at least are always from mom and pop shops, small businesses, small coffee shops. Now more than ever, small businesses could use your help to stay afloat, stay alive, basically. Thank you guys, man. Always, when you're walking by there, it doesn't have to be coffee, whatever. Hardware store. It doesn't always have to be Home Depot or Lowe's. If you got a little hardware store in your community, your town, your city, stop by, see what they got, man. If it's a few extra cents more, I'm sure that business owner could really use that, man. Yeah. Rough times, dude. Hour number 2 starts with the SmackDown return of Seth Rollins. For some reason, the entire locker room is out there acting like this is Tom Brady returning to New England. Rollins says he can mentor the entire locker room if they just join him. Instead, the entire roster hightails it. They leave him. And for some reason, Cesaro stays out there. And Rollins roughs him up. Why would you not? Why are you staying out there? Are you going to join me? Or did you just forget your cue, Cesaro? You're supposed to leave with everyone else. Cesaro's just out there, and Rollins is like, I knew you'd get it. Come on in. And Cesaro's like, no. I don't know what I'm doing here. I had some of Braun Strowman's Capri Sun, and I don't know what was in that son of a bitch. I had whatever sidekick suit jacket Sonya was taking earlier in the night, and I don't know where I'm supposed to be, but I'm feeling good. Cesaro just stays out there, and nobody else is asking, why? What was he doing? Was he like contemplating joining him? Did he not want to follow the herd? Did his mom tell him when he was younger, like, don't follow everyone else, little Cesaro? So he's like, oh man, if everyone else jumps off the bridge, I'm not going to. So he stayed out there, and Rollins is like, oh, come on in. Cesaro's like, no, thanks. I don't like you. I just don't know what I'm doing. So then he starts to finally walk his way to the back. Maybe the fucking whatever he took was wearing off. He started to come to his senses. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing out here. So he starts to go to the back, and Rollins fucking roughs him up. Daniel Bryan makes the save. Some shit, guys. I gotta be honest with you. None of this was captivating, so I had to take care of a business text, and it was one of those long ones, you know? It's not like these kids do, where you just write the letter K, right? You can leave a paragraph these days, and some wise ass will respond with K. K? I just put my heart and soul to that mess. I just spent 7 minutes on that text, and I get K? so I had to do one of those business ones. It was like 2 paragraphs long. I know, BC, you gotta split it up, man. But it's still gonna take the same amount of time. Anyway, it was business. I had to send that out. But something was happening where Cesaro was getting roughed off. Daniel Bryan comes up, and we get a fucking tag match later tonight with Daniel Bryan and Cesaro versus the tag team champions. And Seth Rollins, I believe he came back with his original theme, though. I gotta go back and as I'm doing this business text, I remember his fucking theme for some reason. So I think he had his original theme, which I said at Royal Rumble, guys. He should have came back with Burn It Down. Because I don't even know that other side. His heel music is fucking horrendous. It's not distinctive. You don't know it right when it hits. You know, you want something that you know who it is from the second that music hits. Even if it's a heel, you know who it is. With Seth Rollins, man, I honestly thought it was Jinder Mahal at the Royal Rumble. And then they're like, Seth Rollins. I'm like, oh, wow, that was underwhelming. So, if I am correct and he used his old theme, that is the right way to go about it. I don't care if you're a heel or not. He needs something fucking upbeat, man. He needs something distinctive. He needs something that's going to captivate. And if I'm wrong and he had his old music, then I don't know what the fuck I was listening to then, man. Maybe in my dome piece, I was hoping he had that music, right? Maybe I already got my own soundtrack in my dome piece, so when things are tragically bad on WWE, my mind takes over and I get what I want it to be. So, shitty music, it will be that now, right? Retribution is going to come out to the Ultimate Warriors theme from now. Baron Corbin's coming out to the Macho Man, Randy Savage's music. That'd be fun. I don't even know what I'm talking about now. Now I'm taking Sonya's sidekick fucking suit jackets. Whatever she's taking, whatever Apollo's taking, man. BC's, it's in his coffee now. This show's going off the tracks. Let's keep it rocking, man. Bayley defeats Liv Morgan because, well, it's Liv Morgan and the company sees nothing in Liv Morgan. This was great to see Bayley continue to pick up W's, but it's clear they don't know what the fuck to do with this chick. Ding dong! Hello! How about a fun storyline, Vince? Bayley has shown you she can carry storylines. We saw it with Sasha. We saw it a little bit with Bianca Belair even. They got nothing. They don't know what they're doing. You talk about rushing to pay-per-view to pay-per-view. Just think about all the fucking superstars that have been poorly used for years, now more than ever. Bayley's one of them. You could say this should be the pinnacle of her career. She's doing some of her best work in this heel role. She's picking up W's. They just don't have a direction. And if you don't have a direction, your momentum is ruined. It don't matter how good you are right now. How much you're putting into your character. How many W's you're picking up. You can pick up 100 W's without momentum on your side, without direction, without a reasoning. It's going to fall to the wayside. We're taking inventory of it, but it's in the category of who gives a fuck. It's in that section. And Liv Morgan, wow. That's just sad, man. Wasn't too long ago she was coming back from a hiatus. We had big hopes for her. We thought she was going to be like a Sister Abigail. They bring her back in some weird lesbian storyline, and all of a sudden, she's reunited with the Riot Squad because they have nothing for her, and then all of a sudden, she's right back to square one. Jobber status. Brooklyn Brawler status. You might as well put a mask on her and just call her Mrs. Wrestling. Would be the same. If she's going to look up at the lights anyway. Might as well save face, save name, right? I'm not Liv Morgan, I'm Mrs. Wrestling. Street Profits then defeat Gable and Otis in less than 5 minutes. If that's the best that Alpha Academy's got, I'll stick with Cobra Kai. I'll strike first, strike hard, and show no mercy. Because Alpha Academy is showing Otis nothing. In fact, they got Otis out there in a singlet now. It's one thing to give it to Keith Lee. Now Otis is rocking a singlet. And that doesn't work because Otis is a big boy, but he's shorter. And unless you got that stock built like Rhino, brah, this looks goofy. I don't think he was ever in a singlet. Was he in a singlet before? I don't think so, am I right? If I'm wrong, again, that's one of those things in my own dome piece I'm trying to fucking change. Oh, man, it's gotten so bad, I'm mentally just trying to change everything myself. But I don't remember him being in a singlet. I could be wrong on that. Who knows? Well, maybe you guys do. You guys tell me. I think this was the first time in a singlet. Or maybe he's been in a singlet for... I don't know, man. It looks goofy. If he's been in it, I'm telling you right now, this is the first I realized how goofy he looks in it. Street Profits pick up a W. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair is next. They're face-to-face, and BC Amplified is ready for them to take this feud to the next level and kick off this Mania storyline. Just seeing Bianca face-to-face with Sasha, man, so awesome. You know, we talk about how awesome that Mania match will be, but when you see it, man, it's even better than you imagine it. Face-to-face. And just when it started to get good, we hear perhaps the most nauseating theme in all of sports entertainment. She injures mouse girls! Oh, man. Here comes Nia Jax. They replay the "Oh, my hole" footage, which is hilarious. I don't know. I honestly think that was a moment where Nia just said, I don't even give a shit right now. Live television, she just shouted that out because why not? And that's what I mean. When your superstars are not happy, when they just don't give a fuck anymore, that's sad, man. I mean, I doubt Vince or anybody told her to say that when she goes out. She just said that, and it became a huge thing. It trended. It made the New York Post, you name it. So Nia comes out there. Bianca and Sasha have some fun with her. And then they come to blows, man. Sasha whips her heels off for a fight faster than a Democrat tries to impeach a president. I mean, how fast Sasha can take her heels off? It's like she's been doing this her whole life, man. Oh, you want to throw down? Boom, boom, heels are off, and she's thrusting. She's rocking. I mean, Sasha is just a natural at that. She could be in heels 1 second, the next second she's rocking you. And, Yeah, they went to some... I don't know if they're going to try to do some tag title shit, man, and try to throw the titles on Bianca and Sasha, which is the same thing they just did now with Asuka and Charlotte to eventually build to their WrestleMania match, because I promise you, Charlotte is getting that title. Unless Vince, somebody, gets into his ear and becomes the voice of reason. There is still time before Mania. But I'm telling you, knowing McMahon the way that we know him, Charlotte is taking that belt from Asuka. And I bet you McMahon wanted them to be tag title holders leading up to Mania, but it was just falling on its face. It was doing nothing for Asuka. I think enough people got to Vince McMahon and said, dude, the tag titles on them is doing nothing. So Vince called an audible. But you know he wanted them to be tag title holders closer to Mania. And I think he wants to do the same thing. It looks like that started something, man. I'm just saying, don't be surprised if the tag titles go to Bianca and Sasha. On one hand, you want to say, that's cool, man. On the other hand, you're thinking, that's going to be the story? They're tag title holders and have to work together, but there's animosity. I'd rather just one chick, the champ, the other badass gal is going for that strap, and every time they cross paths, it's a build-up. I don't need them to play the tag team champion friends routine. I've seen that so many times in this company. And that's what I mean. Vince feels like he always has to resort to the bare minimum. He always has to resort back to what was once the tried and true. But it's a new day. Yes, it is. Times have changed. Your storylines have to evolve. Before we get to the main event, allow BC a coffee break if you don't mind. Ow! We go into the main event, which is Suit Jacket Sonya Special Tag Team Elimination Chamber Qualifier. D. Bryan Cesaro versus your tag team champions Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. At the conclusion of this one, Cesaro makes Dolph Ziggler tap out. So your tag team champions lose again, because why would they not? They're champions. And Vince's MO is, our champions don't have to be booked like winners. We treat everybody equally here. So you all go out there and you're all booked into 50-50 booking irrelevancy. Everybody is just a carbon copy of one another. Everybody is like an Amazon box, one after the other, being shipped out of the distribution center. That's WWE. It starts at the Performance Center. All of the carbon copies of one another. Everybody is being shipped out to look the same, have the same movements, know where the camera angles are, move the same, act the same, talk the same, walk the same. Which is why nobody can cut a badass promo anymore. Everybody is a carbon copy out of the Performance Center. Straight through fucking NXT, where that's the best fucking times of their career probably is going to be in NXT. Because when they get to the main roster, oh boy, good luck. Good luck trying to swim out of catering. Catering is like the fucking prison of WWE. Where all the fucking jobbers are sitting around trying to fucking contemplate, how can I break out of this son of a bitch? How can I break out of this prison? There's gotta be a way. Can we dig a tunnel? Is there a way we can get over the electrical fence? And as you're trying to concoct how you can escape, you got the fucking catering crusaders running around chasing R-Truth for a championship. It's a circus. I don't even know what I'm talking about, man. Tag champion, yeah. Champions are fucking jobbers these days. Look at Sonya Deville. How many losses and how stupid and foolish can she be booked? Time after time. And she's got a championship. Asuka's a singles champion. As is Sasha Banks. How many title defenses have they really had? How many storylines have they had thus far? How many intriguing, captivating moments? Bobby Lashley, you can go down the... I mean, champions are just a stone's throw away from jobbers. You can't decipher one from the other. This company has to start building larger-than-life superstars. Because right now, you just got a roster of a lot of good talent that nobody gives a shit about. And when they see champions consistently losing, Can you blame them? So Cesaro and Debray are now headed to the chamber with Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn and Jey Uso and Kevin Owens. And whoever wins that will take on Roman later in the night. And you gotta believe they did that because they knew they had to fill the card. They knew they only had a week to do it. So, like, how can we get 2 matches out of Roman? Well, let's just have a Roman out of the chamber, but that will link to a Roman Championship match that night. So they can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, basically. 2 matches revolving around 1 title. And that'll help fill the card out. Trust me, I'm onto these people. I know what they're doing. Fucking company, bruh. You don't think I want to get in front of these, in front of this camera and in these reviews, talk about how good these shows are? I want to talk positively. I want to have more laughs with you guys. I want to really shoot the shit in a positive way. Trust me, I do. But when there's so much nonsense, I mean, this was a bad SmackDown, right? We all can agree on that. I don't think there's any dipshit out there really going, that was a good SmackDown. Did you see the tag champions lose? Did you see Nia Jax show up? How about the weird twist and plot? They had tag teams advancing to the Elimination Chamber World Heavyweight Title Opportunity match. Tag team matches, BC. You always want original, BC. This is fun. You see the Authority tell Roman you're doing this, and Roman said, no, I'm not. And they're like, okay, I gotta go find my balls. That's fun, BC. No, it's not. It's not. That's not a good 2-hour show on Fox. Any fucking show I watched in the 80s for WWE, especially the 90s, but the 80s was better than this. And that was 1 hour on Saturday mornings. We were talking about shit that we would talk about for the rest of our lives. Jake the Snake Roberts getting bit by a snake. The Big Boss Man being jumped by former inmate Nails. And the beating that Boss Man took. Hulk Hogan. And Andre ripping that cross off of Hogan's chest. Or the Ultimate Warrior being jumped by The Undertaker. Hulk Hogan being jumped by The Undertaker at the funeral parlor. The Ultimate Warrior locked in the casket and Jake Roberts working with The Undertaker. Papa Shango casting a voodoo spell on the Ultimate Warrior. I could go on and on with epic moments. Every show had something happening. Now, what's the moments that we talk about in these shows? What moments are you calling out on Monday night? We're talking about Nia's hole. My hole! That was the sweeping conversation from 3 hours on cable television. And that's what we were talking about because there was nothing else. You don't have to like what BC is saying, but when you think about what I'm saying, it's fact, right? You don't have to like BC, but I promise you I'll always at least be honest with you. There was nothing on Monday worth mentioning. Worth even mentioning. So we go to SmackDown. There is nothing on this show worth mentioning. Nothing. Nothing that you're going to remember a year from now, 10 years, much less a week from now. And the problem with this company is it's too often. Far too many times are we seeing this. Time after time. It's consistency, all right? It's the one thing WWE is consistent at. Putting out shit shows. I'm BC Amplified. I gotta beat this snowstorm. Hopefully you guys do as well. For any of you out there that's got this inclement weather coming in. And if you don't, man, if you got sunny days, congratulations. Fuck. I hope to take a little trip, I don't know, California just refuses to open up, so I hope to take a trip down to Florida soon and catch some of that sunshine, man, because this February, we're getting fucking rocked, baby. Yeah, think, be, live, amplified. You guys know the deal, man. I ain't got to tell you that. You know how we do it up in this bitch. Smash down those coffees, whoop that ass, and we'll talk again, if not for Monday Night Raw, the review. Maybe there'll be a pre-show. Maybe there'll be an impromptu vid this weekend. BC stuck in a snowstorm. Still talking about pro wrestling, right? That'll be the headline. I'm fucking frozen. I'm like, why the fuck did they do that to Sasha? Icicles are forming. BC, take the day off, man. You ain't gotta talk about wrestling. No, this needs to be said. All right, slowly but surely, I'm losing it. So I'm gonna down the rest of this, go get another one, and whoop that ass. I hope you do the same. Check you later.